Hello and welcome to Cityline. We're zooming from my kitchen into your home, and we have a great hour ahead of us. Later on, we'll be talking with Michelle from the Emergency Food Network. She is here to talk about a partnership that you need to know about. Jeremy will be here with the Northwest Furniture Bank, talking about how their gala went and what their current needs are in the Furniture Bank. LeMay Car Museum has a brand new executive director, and they are open, so we get to catch up with them. The Humane Society has their Pet of the Week here. And with me now is one of my favorite people. I'm talking about the Managing Artistic Director of Tacoma Little Theater and the President of the American Association of Community Theater, all in our little backyard. Hello, Chris Serface.
Hello, Amanda Westbrook. It is so wonderful to see you, a wonderful person.
It's great to see you too. I was telling you last night, just before I went to bed, I was closing out my phone and I had Facebook open and I saw your wonderful post about how good it felt to have people back in the theater for auditions.
Yep.
And I just thought to myself, gosh, you must be just tickled pink. So how are things going to get ready for the season to open?
They're going great. We had our first audition since December of 2019. And they were for Clue, which will be live on stage in October. It's the second show of our season. Terms of Endearment, which opens it, had already auditioned before the second show of our season. Terms of Endearment, which opens it, had already auditioned before the pandemic happened. So they've just been rehearsing. But Clue auditions had over 100 people sign up. Over the course of those 2 days, we saw everybody. And tonight will be the callbacks for Clue, and we'll be casting the show shortly and getting that out there so people can get excited about seeing Clue live on stage, because it's an absolutely hilarious script. And the people who came to auditions were so funny. And just the ability to see people on stage performing again was absolutely magical.
I'm sitting there just feeling what it feels like to laugh out loud, to see chemistry, to see spontaneity. I mean, that's the recipe we've all been missing for the past 14 months. Chris, run through with us what the season will be again, so we can start checking off the boxes and filling out our calendar.
We're calling it the start of something new, which is an homage to the theater behind us, which has been remodeled. Also, the fact that it's a new chapter. I mean, we're coming back. This is a new chapter that we're starting. So we're going to open with Terms of Endearment, which will warm everybody's hearts. It's such a beautiful story, and the cast is amazing. Then the aforementioned Clue will be on our stage for the Halloween season. With a performance on Halloween, we encourage you to dress up in your favorite Clue characters and come join us that day. Then for the holiday season, The Wizard of Oz will take to our stage. Then Silent Sky in January, which is a beautiful story about the first female astronomer who essentially discovered pulsars. Then A Chorus Line dances its way back onto our stage, which we are so happy to see that come back. Then The Happiest Song Plays Last, which is our partnership with UWT. And then we close out with The Luck of the Irish, directed by Lydia Valentine, our poet laureate in town. So it's going to be a great season. We'll also have our off-the-shelf staged readings sprinkled in there during the run of every one of those shows, and a few other special events coming up. One which I teased last week, which is All Together Now, which is going to happen November 12th through the 14th. And it's a co-production between ourselves and Tacoma Musical Playhouse. It's a benefit fundraiser for our theaters in town. Music Theater International, which holds most of the rights to the big musicals, has granted this to theaters to perform free of royalties, which, as Amanda, you know, that's a huge expense usually. So we'll be auditioning for that soon and presenting a 70-minute, 15-song concert on the TNP stage to benefit both theaters. So we're really excited about that, to be partnering with them to do it together.
Chris, I can close my eyes and I can see the best of the best on that TNP stage. I mean, they may not have already auditioned, but I already have Sherry O'Hare up there. Okay, so there we go.
We'll have to see if she'll do it. I mean, Sherry, she'll probably audition for it. We'll see what happens.
Well, now that we've mentioned it on television, she's going to feel the pressure, so it's okay.
That is true.
Chris, tell me about The Guys. What is The Guys?
The Guys is a show that we are squeezing in before the season starts. We're doing it as a staged reading starring Nana Curley and Dylan Twiner, directed by Rick Horner. It is the story, it was written in the early 2000s, right after 9/11 happened. And it's based on a true story, and it's about Joan and Nick, Joan is a writer, and Nick is a fire captain who lost men in the Twin Towers. And he needs help writing their eulogies. So he's still processing all the grief and emotions from that. So he turns to Joan to help him write those. And it's a story of them, two strangers coming together and living through these memories of something that's still very raw in their minds. And as we reached the 20th anniversary, we thought it was something we could do to help commemorate that event and remember, because we really do need to remember those things that happened in our past.
Every day of our life, we need to remember that. We also need to remember, Chris, that it's summer, and summer means fun. It means kids. It means laughter. It means summer camp. What's happened with summer camp?
Well, summer camp, they had snuck out into the lobby right before we started taping, and I'm like, I'm doing a recording. Shh. So they went outside to rehearse their small scenes with some small group work that was going on. But we're in week 6 of our 8-week summer camps. We have had such a wonderful time, 15 kids each week, and putting on the shows. They rehearse them in 5 days and perform them. We video the shows and send them out to the parents so we don't have to worry about audience protocols at this point. And just seeing the kids on stage has been so very wonderful. And the feedback we're getting from parents, and the fact that many of these students haven't had this type of interaction or this type of exposure to the performing arts in 18 months roughly. So it's been absolutely wonderful, and we can't wait to continue through the summer and then bring back our educational programs in the fall also.
So what do you have planned for the fall, Chris?
We have our after-school programs, which are Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, Thursday, along with our homeschool programs, which take place during the day. After school, obviously, is after school. We have some adult classes coming up. Then we have winter break camp, spring break camp, summer camp next year, which will start enrolling in early 2022. And we'll also have some individual private lessons that you can do for both acting technique and voice lessons. So the schedule's filling up rapidly. We're also partnering with some other schools to go out into those schools and bring some performing arts curriculum to them.
Yes. Oh, be still my heart, because we need that so badly. And I bet that every parent who is enrolling their child in any kind of camp, the first words out of their mouth is, thank you.
You know, I'll share something kind of funny, Amanda, that you'll get a kick out of, and many of our viewers will too, is the fact that we're having a hard time getting the kids to project. For so long, they've been at home on Zoom doing their classes and everything, and they've had to be quiet because their brother or sister's in the room next to them, or the parents are working from home, that they've forgotten they can be loud when they're on stage. And so we're really dragging that out of them, saying, no, be loud, please be loud. And it's just been one of those weird things that we notice as we come out of our times in our homes and back into the public, that, oh, we forgot how to be loud on stage, kids. Let's get back there.
We're going to have to write a book of all the things that we are relearning again. Speaking of relearning, one of your big bonuses, fabulous people, Miss Nina Curley, your education director, she has moved on. So Chris, how do we ever get along again without Nina?
Well, it's going to be hard. She's irreplaceable, although I'm sure we'll find somebody who will fill her shoes almost as well. Her Wonder Woman high heels will leave the building, which we will be sad to see them go. Nina was able to get a position at Curtis High School as their drama faculty member, and so she'll be taking over the program there, which is absolutely wonderful. She had just finished up her CTE certifications, and it all kind of lined up. And so she said, hey, boss, this is happening. And I'm like, go. This is going to be wonderful for you. I'll miss you, and so will everybody else, so will our families and our parents. For the summer, our interim education director is Dylan Twiner, who's doing an absolutely amazing job. But we do have that position open, and those applications will close August 11th. So if there's any viewers who have that theatrical education director position in their background, Amanda, you could apply again. I mean, you've done the job before here. I'd love to see it back.
You know what? I got to tell you, that was one of the funnest positions I've ever had in my life. How can you not have a good time when you're playing with kids?
You leave every day you leave the job. You are just rewarded and you're smiling when you leave the building. But the information about that job is on our website. We'd love to see some applications come through. We've had a few great candidates so far, but we'd love to see some more.
There we go. So what is the next show that our audience can audition for?
The Wizard of Oz auditions are coming up fast on August 9th and 10th. We are casting ages 12 and up, which includes adults. So we are looking for adults and children the ages of 12 and over for the show. And all roles are open. It's directed by this fabulous new director to us, who's from the Seattle area, named Andrew Koopman, and everybody we meet who has met him, or whenever we meet him, people just walk away saying, this guy's awesome. So we're very excited to have Andrew in the building directing for us, and musically directed by the wonderful Jeff Bell, who's musically directed for us the past few years. And to do that, you go to our website, and there's a program called Casting Manager. It gives you all the details, and you upload your headshot and your resume and say, here's what time I want to audition, and it takes care of it for you. And the neat thing is, most of the theaters in town have started using this program, so your personal profile travels theater to theater with you. So if you want to go audition at Tacoma Musical Playhouse or Auburn Community Players, you're already in their system. You just have to say, I want an audition time. It's changing how people audition right now.
That is incredible. And yet, just like the young people you have to ask to project, there are some interesting social lessons learned about standing in line waiting for your turn to walk in. So we'll have to have a side conversation, Chris, on how we recreate that sizing up and how you can use it to your advantage. Chris, speaking of that, TLT is legendary for how well they treat their volunteers. So how do people volunteer at TLT now that we can?
We are always looking for help, particularly as we come up getting ready for shows to open. We always need people to usher and work in the concessions area. We also always are looking for people who can help paint or do some of the other odd jobs that happen behind the scenes, seamstresses, people who can sew, those types of positions. If you go to our website, there's a I'm interested in volunteering button, and you can click there and say what you're interested in, and then we get it to the right department head, and when we have projects come up, they'll reach out to you and say, hey, we need somebody to come in and paint from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. this night. Can you join us? And we get the people to help make that magic come alive on stage.
I love that. That is some of the best things I ever learned were at Tacoma Little Theater when I was volunteering. Incredible experience. Is there anybody you'd like to thank before we say goodbye for all of this fabulousness up to this point?
I think a huge thank you always goes out to our community. The fact that Tacoma Little Theater has been around for 103 years, and we will continue to be around. We're not going anywhere. We've made it through everything that has been thrown at us. So hopefully we will, on September 10th, open our season, which you can find out season tickets on the website. I forgot to mention that earlier. And the brochure should be hitting mailboxes on Friday, July 30th, too. So keep your eyes open for your season ticket brochure. But people I'd like to thank besides the community also is my staff. They are so wonderful and keep this building alive and vibrant. And then our board of directors, we just recently added 4 new board members, Eric Clausel, Maria Valenzuela, Blake Kramer, and Pamela Rosa to our team, who join our other board members. And it is such a wonderful board to work with and work for, that really have the best interests of our community and Tacoma Little Theater and the performing arts in their hearts. So we're excited, and just get out there and see shows again, people. When you feel comfortable to do so, we really encourage you to come. We'll make sure that we're following all the protocols that are in place at the time of performances. So just keep your eyes open. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Karen in our box office is always there to answer your questions on the phone, or reach out to any of the staff, because we like to talk to people.
And I love talking with you. Chris, thank you so much for all that you do 24/7 for the art of making art. You are incredible, and so are your team. And thank you for being ready to come back and show us that all the world is truly a stage. And as soon as you get that education director hired, I'd love to have her on this show.
I hope that, I hope it'll be on the comfy couch.
I hope so.
Someday soon.